Good afternoon and welcome to Local Umbrella Live. My name is Brad Weber with Local Umbrella Media, and my special guest today is Miss Tonya Mantooth, who is the CEO of the San Diego International Film Festival. Welcome, Tonya.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Well, it's that time again. I've always been ever since you've been around anyway, I've been a big fan of the film festival. And this year I actually get to go because normally my wife's Canadian and we go up to visit her family every year this time of year, and I miss it about half the time. So I'm excited to go this year. So just want to learn a little bit more about it for people that aren't familiar with the film festival, and also for us, those of us that are, the details of, who's here, what's going on, what are the big events and things. So tell us a little bit about your history, and this is the 20th anniversary, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, so the festival is celebrating its 20th anniversary, and one of the things we wanted to do was to really celebrate throughout San Diego, and that's why we changed our footprint this year. Mm-hmm. So we're in Balboa Park. It's so iconic, and several of the museums there. We're at the Catamaran, which is in Mission Bay, gorgeous setting, and then we're going to end at the Midway, aboard the Midway, and do an event there. So we really wanted to spread it around and really celebrate San Diego.
But at least part of it is in person this year, right? Is it all virtual? It was all virtual last year, correct?
It was
like everything else.
Well, actually, last year we were virtual, but we created 6 weeks of drive-in experience.
That's right.
So we did a whole drive-in movie series. We partnered with Westfield at UTC. We knew people were just starting to come out, so we wanted to create an option for them to do that. And so this year, it's a little bit smaller footprint, but we will have in-person screenings and smaller events, but definitely giving people the chance to come out and kind of rebuild the community.
Got it. Yeah, and it kicks off on the 14th, correct? That's the opening.
Yeah, 14th, we're our opening night. On the 15th, that's when we start the virtual screenings, and that runs all the way to the 24th.
Outstanding. And I was reading, we published an article about it and an ad for to attract people, and I was some bigger names that I'm mistaken, but there were some big names this year. There always is, but there are some really big names, I thought. So tell us a little bit about the famous people that are participating this year.
Well, you know what? I think we've got an incredible lineup of curated films this year. So the 15 films that we're going to do in-person screenings really are unbelievable. They're just coming out of the Cannes Film Festival, the top festivals. So we're opening with Come On, Come On, which is a new film by Joaquin Phoenix. Right. A lot of people, he's being looked at as potential best actor.
Wow.
We've got another film called Spencer, which everyone is highly anticipating. It's about Diana and her big decision to leave Charles. Right. And so that's starring Kristen Stewart. Again, people think there's a lot of Oscar buzz around her. Wow. We've got Belfast, which is Kenneth Branagh's new film. And that's who stars in that? That is Katarina Balfe, if anybody's an Outlander fan. We've got Power of the Dog, starred Benedict Cumberbatch. We've got Olivia Spencer, Olivia Colman in The Lost Daughter. So it's really an amazing array of studio films that I think people are really going to be excited.
Oh, great. Yeah, I think there's a lot of Outlander fans out there. I know I have one in my household. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm one.
There's a lot. So I think also you're focusing on females and female filmmakers, and tell us a little bit about that.
You know what? It's been interesting, Brad. Over the 10 years that I've been the artistic director and headed up the festival, it's been so really rewarding to see the number of additional female filmmakers that have really started to submit. And I've really seen that start to accelerate just over the last few years. It's really an exceptional time to be a female filmmaker. I think there's a huge shift in the industry that feels like it's a foundational shift. And so what I love is I see the films that these women are taking on are not small, quiet stories. They're really bold topics. And we see it especially in 2 of the studio films. And one is called Power of the Dog. That's with Benedict Cumberbatch, directed by Jane Campion, if anybody remembers the film Piano. And now this is her first film in 17 years, but it's a very, very bold topic and really masculine-led film. And now The Lost Daughter, that's directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Now, she also wrote it. She won Best Screenplay at the Venice Film Festival. And this film is really bold and really strong and outspoken. And I love to see the women taking the risk, both at that level, but also as independent filmmakers. So we're so proud to showcase them and really, show them that we need to support other women and we need to be able to get that word out.
Yeah, some talented, those 2 people are super talented.
Oh.
They're amazing. both of us. So
Yeah.
anyway, and the other thing I've read a little bit about is the social media films that social impact films. Social media rolls off the tongue, I guess, to talk about it so much. But,
I know, we're always on social media.
yeah, so it's the impactful films that are not just entertainment, but message carrying and lesson learning type of things.
It's always been a real important kind of mission, and especially for me, is to really use the festival as a platform to be able to get these important messages out, and really as a way to bring people together. So when I curate a film, it really is to look at it from all sides, because it's really about bridging the divide, not increasing the divide. And so in particular, there's one film this year that I programmed called Finding Fellowship. It really deals with the racial issue, but in a very different way, because it takes this small town that was always racially divided in their churches, and then they come together. And it's really an amazing exploration of really, when they come together, they see that they have more in common than they thought that they did. And away goes all of that. So the panel discussion afterwards, we've got Leon Clark, who's the GM for KGTV. We've got Michael Bruckner, who is an incredible civic leader and really with the Jackie Robinson YMCA for many, many years. So we're going to talk about this issue and really open it up almost like a town hall, and really start to have that sense of, if you can have a conversation, I think that's how you start to develop a sense of empathy.
Yeah, what a concept, huh?
Exactly. And without empathy, we will never be able to find a way to be compassionate towards each other.
Yeah. That's one of the things I'd like to learn about a little bit that I haven't talked to anyone about really, is how you go about choosing the films. What's the process? I don't know if it's something you can explain in a short time, but it's certainly something I'm interested in. I think a lot of people wonder how that gets done. How do these films get to you, and what's the process?
It's, it's amazing, because we closed the festival in October and we opened for submissions at the end of January.
Wow.
And so this last year, I think we were a little almost 3,200 films submitted to us from 65 countries, which is really unbelievable. And in the 10 years, we've been able to really build the credibility of the festival in order to increase that number. So when you think about it, there are platforms that filmmakers can go on to submit to any film festival in the world. There are probably 100,000 film festivals, and yet to be chosen is really an honor.
Right.
And so we have screeners with about 200 people who apply every year to be a screener.
So these are volunteer people, or you don't have a staff of screeners, you have people that music or film reviewers and that type of thing, I guess, that actually want to be a part of it, and it's just the way the system works.
Right, and as it moves up, I do have a programming team, and they are on my staff. But the first round is through screeners, and so once we cull it down to about 60 that we feel are qualified, and they start watching. So every film is watched 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
They're rated, they're reviewed, and then as it moves up the pyramid and more people watch it, it either moves up the pyramid or not. And then I'm watching films all along the way throughout, and so is my programming team. And then we have programmers who are specific in a genre. They love foreign, they love documentary, and then I meet with them and they give me their input. And of course, I'm watching all year long, so I get to watch quite a few. It really cuts into my Netflix bench watching significant lengths. Well, it's when you're going through and you're having to watch that many and really think about how is this going to work, and how to go from 3,200 down to 160. That's a tough process.
So 160 is between the 14th and 24th, there's 160 films.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's features, documentaries, and then short films.
Okay. So if people want tickets, we're going to show on the website, but let's do it now too. What's the approach to getting tickets?
So they go to sdfilmfest.com, and we have a variety of different ways people can participate. And we really wanted to bring the price way down because we know it's been a tough time.
Yeah.
So you can be a VIP pass holder, and that goes to everything in person. You just have a fest pass that goes to a little less, but you're still doing in person. And if you just want to do virtual, we've made it so incredibly inexpensive. It's $49. It gets you 10 days, 150 films.
Wow.
You can watch them on demand. There's a very interactive platform, so you get a chance to watch Q&As with filmmakers from around the world. It's it's a great way, if you love film, just to immerse yourself.
That sounds amazing. So what if people can't watch the films if they sign up and can't watch them in a 10-day period? Can they watch them later, or do you need to watch them?
You have to watch them in that time frame. That's our agreement with the filmmakers.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay,
yeah.
Because then you go pay again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So make some time in those 10 days, and it's a great deal for $49. You said?
It
Wow.
is, absolutely.
So you can spend a 10-day period and watch film after film, and for $49, that's amazing. It's less than the cost to go to a movie these days.
Yeah,
Seems
absolutely.
like, wow. Are there any local people involved, or is there anyone you can think about that has a connection to San Diego in some way, shape, or form, or not?
Actually, one of the things, we've always been a great partner with the San Diego Film Consortium,
Okay.
and they really are they really galvanize the local filmmaking community. We really love that. And so in 2020, when we opened up our virtual platform, we invited them in to be able to host all of their films. And so we're doing that again.
Okay.
So we've got a number of local films, and it's specifically all of them together. And I love that, because it's really important to support the local filmmakers and really give them that platform that's kind of on a higher level and be able to expose them, because we have a lot of people that are watching virtually. They're outside of San Diego.
No doubt about it. I mean, even what we do, we're out talking to people, and you always discover someone right down the street that's either written a book or has done something amazing that you'd say, my God, I didn't realize they were right here. And I'm sure that's in film also, is there's so much talent around that people just don't get the platform, or don't get heard about that much. So here's a good way to find out about these people right in our backyard that are doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So great. Anything else you want to add, other than we'll tell people how to get tickets to go? I don't know if there's a limit on tickets, or if they can buy them sooner, or any incentive, but we want people to come and see this, and it's well worth it. I've been, and it's, for the price, I just think it's an incredible value, and it's an experience. It's not just like going to a movie. You get to meet the actors. Sometimes you get to see the panels, and it's just if you haven't done it before, it's just a different experience than seeing a movie.
Well, it is, and that's one of the reasons is we really do try to create an experience. For when we're at the Museum of Photographic Arts or San Diego Museum of Art, if you buy a ticket for that day or you have a pass, you also have access to the museums that day. So we really want to create that experience. We've got lounges, we've got all the experience. We do a culinary cinema at Catamaran, which is really fun.
I missed that.
Yeah, well, it's really going to be fun. So we've programmed a culinary film specifically about the Basque region. And then afterwards, we'll all go out on the grass that overlooks the bay, and we have 6 chefs that will prepare a dish inspired by the film. And that is always fun. And, we do a wine pairing with it, so it is a delightful Sunday.
Yeah, that's something people I know have gone to that, and they really rave about that.
It is
one.
It is a lot of fun.
One of a kind experience.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
Anything else? Or?
We are talking about, I know we talked briefly about our military event on the Midway.
That's right.
And that is really a really special event for us, because we partnered with a veteran-run charity that specifically helps vets find employment. And that's one of the biggest issues that they face. And that was something I really didn't realize. We hear about the statistics of PTSD, but we don't really hear their struggles to get back into the workforce, despite their level of education that they've received in the military. And so we're taking them to the Midway. We'll have a cocktail reception. We tend to have a lot of cocktail receptions. There's a theme here. I have to talk to my team.
People smiling.
Yeah, I have to talk to my team about that. And then afterwards, we're going to show a film called The Hornet's Nest. And it's about 2 photojournalists who embed in a troop in Afghanistan, and they take fire, and it's one of the worst battles, and they didn't anticipate that. It's all caught in the camera. And so some of the men do not make it. And we're going to talk about it. And one of the gentlemen who does not make it, his wife will be there. She's a Gold Star widow, and she will be there and sit on the panel and talk about, what the men and women of service, sometimes what they give. And then we'll talk about the issue of employment. So it'll be a great panel discussion. So it'll be a really incredible night to really celebrate the military. And we figured that, San Diego is such a military town, and we need to really honor that. And that's what we're going to do.
It's a military town. Sounds great for her also. What's the date of that one, if you know?
That's October 23rd. It's on the Saturday night,
Okay, so right before the end.
right before the
And
end.
what's the capacity for an event like that? Are they all the same, or some like the midway? It sounds like there's a lot of people on there.
The Midway, I think it holds about 5,000, but we are going to not go there.
Oh,
We're going to keep it at 350. Again,
350.
we really wanting all of our events to be a little on the smaller side and be outside so that people feel comfortable and safe. And we really are, cognizant of the time we are in right now.
Well, what an experience to see a movie like that with the people involved and 350 people.
Yeah.
So that's a unique, special position.
Yeah.
For you need to go.
Absolutely. And in the gorgeous city skyline, it'll be a spectacular night.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
great. Well, I'm certainly personally looking forward to it. I'm going to be here and I'm excited. And it's just a wonderful event to have it here in San Diego. It's, kind of puts us on the big stage. This is the big leagues. And thanks for being here. Thanks for doing all you do. I know you've been involved in this for a long time. I can't imagine you're not just sitting watching movies all year long. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff
There's a bit
like
of
you're
work.
doing today. You got to promote it. You've got to manage the staff and get the people here and all the logistics. I can't even imagine putting that together. But you've done a great job every year. Every year I hear wonderful things about the culinary part and everything else that you do. So thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Well, thank you, Brad.
I look forward to seeing you at the festivals, at one or more of the events. And this is an exciting time for San Diego. So I recommend go to the website, get some tickets, show up, enjoy these wonderful movies. Tonya Mantooth, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for your partnership. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Happy to do it. So that's our show. I want to thank our sponsors, Attorney King, Sycuan Casino, IB Fitness, and Nikki Ruttens. And I'm sorry if I left somebody out, but we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.